Dear viewers, I greet you all with respect. God willing, we will be holding the 16th episode of our Awakening program. In this talk, I will be sharing a very serious topic with you. I had previously discussed this topic at length in the From the Source of the Spring program, but since it carries the nature of a declaration or a statement here, I will present it very concisely. This topic is about adoption. Yes, one of the necessities of our age is adoption, the ability for those who need to adopt to do so, and for children in need of protection to be united with their mother and father. Unfortunately, Muslims have failed in this regard. They have created quite a few problems, responsibilities, and issues. Yes, in our Quran, Allah does not say do not adopt children. He only says, do not call the children you have adopted as if they are your own biological children. Call them by the names of their own mothers and fathers. Yes, for adopted individuals and children, their real mother and father should be disclosed to them at an appropriate time. Whether they are alive or deceased, they must know this. If this is concealed, a number of real problems will arise. We call this siriyat, affinity by marriage. That is, there are matters related to marriage that would become forbidden. Things like one's biological mother, biological sister, and so on. These must be known and must be disclosed. Yes, this is a very important issue. When discussing this generally, even though Allah has forbidden it, meaning He says to call adopted children by the names of their own fathers, they have insisted quite strongly on the impossibility of adoption. Later on, as a result of considerable difficulties, they have come up with certain solutions. In other words, they have said that a man who lives alone or will live alone should adopt a boy, and a woman who lives alone or will live alone should adopt a girl. Or they have said people should adopt children from among their relatives to whom marriage is not permissible for them. Or when the child eventually enters the stage of puberty, they have often attempted to find ways to resolve some forced problems in their own unique way, such as having the child relocate away from the family home and reside in a completely different environment. What is the underlying reason for all of this? Don't forget this. The justification behind these reasons, in other words, the justification behind these forced measures, is the issue of privacy. In other words, it has been argued that an adopted daughter's marriage could become permissible for the adoptive father, and similarly, an adopted son's marriage could become permissible for the adoptive mother in that family, and thus the prohibition of them living together has been established. From this, arguments have been put forward that adoption is not appropriate in this regard. However, look, as Hakkı Yılmaz, I have said this many times before, but this time I will say it very clearly. There is no such thing as privacy or seclusion between adopted children and the parents who adopted them. What does that mean? It means that whether the adopted child is a boy or a girl, marriage is not permissible between them and any member of the adoptive family. If the child is a girl, she cannot marry the father. If the child is a boy, he cannot marry the mother. Look, I am making a claim here and I am telling the truth. I am announcing and declaring this issue to the whole world, especially to all official and unofficial individuals and institutions in Turkey who are involved with religion. I want them to address this issue with great sensitivity. Why? Now, when we look at our Quran, as you know, the verse that addresses this issue of privacy is in Surah An-Nisa. In the 23rd verse of Surah An-Nisa, it says to you, Hurimat alaykum ummahatukum wa banatukum. The matter stems from here. It originates from this point. Now listen to me carefully. The word ummihat mentioned in the verse has generally always been translated as your mothers. But the specific term used here does not strictly refer to the biological mother. That is to say, the biological female parent who actually gave birth to the child. I want to emphasize this. Look, I am also calling out to the commentators here. Yes, I am also calling out to the commentators. The word the word umihat, does not mean biological mother, but rather a nursemaid, the woman who raises the child. It is not necessary for her to be the biological mother. If a woman took a baby when it was little, raised it, helped it walk, in short, did great things for it, she is also its She is its mother. According to the verse, marriage with her is never permissible for that person. Here, benatukun, meaning daughters, also does not refer specifically to biological daughters. It refers to girls who have grown up together, been raised together, and have had a close relationship. You know, just like when Prophet Lot refers to the daughters of his community as my daughters, it's the same as that. In other words, if a mother, a father, or a woman has taken in a girl when she was young, raised her, and maintained a close relationship with her, she also falls into this category. That means marriage with her is also forbidden. Let's not forget, the words and benat do not refer to a biological mother who gave birth or a daughter born from a man. They are not the same as mother and daughter by birth. The one who gives birth is called valide, the mother. The father is also called valide. This comes from birth, but comes from nurturing, from taking care of. Let's not forget this. So where does this word come from? It comes all the way from the Assyrians, Syriacs, Hebrews, and Arabs. In all of them, it has the same meaning. Its meaning has never changed. The word ummuha does not mean biological mother, but rather the woman who raises and brings up the child. It means the woman who has taken care of the child. Therefore, it is not necessary for her to be the biological mother. An adoptive mother is also forbidden to her adopted son, and the marriage of an adopted daughter is forbidden to the father who raised and brought her up. So there is nothing to be afraid of. This issue does not fall under the topic of forbidden relationships or privacy. Know this and let everyone else know as well. With respect, I offer my regards.